Have you ever had that feeling when you're sitting with people that you've known for years and you suddenly feel this distance open up inside you? There's not been an argument, nothing's different to what's familiar to you, but some part of you can't keep pretending that the old terms of belonging still fit. This is the exile that this Aquarius moon is bringing to the surface on July the 29th, 2026 at 6 degrees of Aquarius. It isn't always about this feeling of being alone. Sometimes it's about seeing clearly where you've been your own enemy, where you've been leaving yourself out. The moon is sitting closely to Pluto in Aquarius. So feelings around friendship, community, group roles and identity can carry more weight than usual. Something buried may rise up, an old loyalty, a quiet resentment, the rule that nobody spoke but everybody was following. You might notice who gets to take up space and who is the peacekeeper, who's carrying the emotional labor, who steps in to help diffuse the situation. This might all be coming into your awareness now. And this time of this full moon also reaches back in other moon cycles. So we might be talking about the 2-week cycle to the new moon that happened just 2 weeks ago in Cancer. And we could also look back 6 months ago to the new moon in Aquarius. But did you know there's also a moon family? And that takes us all the way back to the Aquarius new moon in January 2025. So you can think about the seeds that you planted in any of those time loops. And if any of those apply to you, especially around the people that you wanted beside you, the future that you were imagining, or the part of yourself that you were ready to claim. What was started then, what doors were opening that you walked through, that you're now starting to realize that something needs adjusting. A seed doesn't stay as an idea forever. Something grows, and as it does, things need to change. Like a seed needs nurturing, it needs protecting, it might need moving, it might need changes and decisions made around it. So this is how you need to adjust as this idea of yours that started in any of those new moons is changing. So by this full moon, you're seeing what that beginning has asked of you and also what the cost was for you. This full moon is falling in the first Aquarius decan, and that's what Austin Coppock calls the mark of the exile. The decan is a division of a sign into 3 10-degree segments. So every sign has these 3 decans as a part of it, and this full moon falls in the first segment. So that simply means that you're outgrowing maybe one of those roles that only worked when you stayed smaller, quieter, or more agreeable. And this only really is speaking to you if it's hitting one of the planets in your chart. Maybe if you've got Aquarius planets or planets in Scorpio, Leo, or Taurus. But the hard question underneath that you might need to ask yourself is simple. Are you belonging through honesty or belonging through self-erasure? Have you had to dim your light? We're looking at the Leo Aquarius axis, and the Leo that asks for that truth and authenticity to really shine through, and then that Aquarius part of belonging and separation from groups as well. Across the sky in Leo, the sun is meeting Jupiter really tightly in a cazimi. That's when a planet is going into the throne room, the sun representing the king. And there's warmth here and a kind of permission. Leo is asking you to bring your heart into view, to take your own creative authority seriously, and to shape your life from the inside out. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone in the room, but you need to know what deserves your devotion and time. This full moon is holding this tension between this collective approval and your personal conviction. You might feel the pull to return to what feels familiar to you, even when it no longer feels true. But the sun in Jupiter can help you hear your own voice beneath all of that noise. It might not be loud, but it will be honest. The moon is conjunct Pluto, and it's unearthing these deep truths that we might have been tempted to avoid before. And then Saturn, the ruler of this lunation, is stationed retrograde in Aries only days before this full moon. And that can slow our plans down or expose a weak point in a plan that you thought was settled. So treat this delay like a structural test. Check your pace, check your boundaries, your responsibilities, and the actual cost of independence. A reroute may be stopping you from building on ground that can't hold you. Notice what January 2025 first began to reveal, and then choose one honest boundary or one honest invitation this week. I will go deeper into the decan of Aquarius 1, the moon family story that takes us back to January 2025, and I go deeper still in my Substack article. So you'll find the links to all of these in the show notes. Thank you for joining me.